Welcome to my series of videos on research reports. In this video, I will be discussing with us how to write a journal paper. Like I mentioned in the last video, there is no specific set of rules to follow. One can only give some general guide. And looking through different sources as well as my own personal experience, I want to suggest this method, the method I'm presenting in this video, as what I call the best practice. So let's see what it is. Usually, depending on individuals, when you have done a research work, you have set your mind to do a particular research, maybe survey research or experimental research or whatever kind of research it is, it will definitely involve collection of data. So you go out there, either through questionnaire, you collect information here and there, you bring in the data, or you go and conduct an experiment, either in the laboratory or in the field, you collect data, or you even go and do measurements in the forest, like we do in forest inventory. You measure things here and there, you collect data, you bring in the data. Now, when you have brought in the data, your report is not there yet. You have done the experiment, you have all your data ready. So the first thing that I will suggest is that you prepare the figures and the tables. So this data, summarize them, bring them into tables, summary tables, and prepare graphs for them. How do you know what kind of tables to use, what kind of graphs to use? My advice is this: look for journal publications in areas similar to what you have worked on. And to get this, you can just Google search. Type your title, the title of what you are doing, or just a phrase of it. Type it in Google search and put PDF afterwards. So that will bring you, Google will bring you lots and lots of similar papers. And the essence of the PDF there is that it will bring you those ones that are full papers in PDF format. And so open them, just begin to open, see how relevant they are, open each of them. And then when you have finished going through page 1 of Google search, go to page 2 also and do a similar thing. So download as many as you want, and then now go through each of them. Go to their results section. See how they have arranged their tables, the structure of their tables, the kind of variables they put there. Then see the kind of graphs they have prepared. Is it bar chart or pie chart or line graphs or scatter plots? See the kind of, the way the variables they have used, the way they have positioned their standard error bar, and so on and so forth. And then just follow that style in arranging your own results too. Analyze your data, summarize your data together, and prepare the graphs, that's the figures, as well as the tables, following some of the formats that you have seen in other earlier work. And then once you are through with that, the next thing is write the methods. That's methodology, or materials and methods, as the case may be. So write this. So what you are writing here is, how did you do the experiment? How did you conduct the study? The how. That's what you are writing under methods. And then you are writing some information about the study area and your method of data collection, as well as your method of data analysis, the procedure you followed, how you did what and what. And it is very important when writing this to write it so clearly, concisely, in a way that will be understood by anyone. And if somebody else is to repeat the work following your methodology should be sufficiently clear to allow somebody else to repeat it and verify what you have done. And then the next thing is write up the results. Now you have your figures, you have your tables, you have everything. Now write up your results. And here you are now explaining, providing explanation for what people can see in the graphs, what people can see in the tables. So you are presenting them. After that, write a discussion. So in the discussion now, you are looking at your results vis-a-vis what some other people have reported previously, either from that study area or even outside the study area. And so you are comparing your results with theirs, with their findings, and see where your results conform with theirs or where it disagrees with theirs. So you have to state that. So these are the things you do in discussion. Citing those references, bringing them in, the ones that agree with yours, the ones that don't agree with yours, and then offering reasons, providing reasons why these results are so. Thereafter, you write the conclusion. And of course, the conclusion of the work is what, it will be based on your findings. Here, you are not introducing any new concept. You are not bringing in references here. No, it's just the conclusion, which is just a summary of your findings in the work. Thereafter, now go and write the introduction. You see, I didn't start with the introduction as number one, because now you have your results, you have the graphs, you have everything. You now go back to your introduction. Don't forget, introduction is where you will provide general background for the study. That's where you will state the study objectives. Now, here, writing it at this stage will help you to maintain consistency, because now you have the results, you have the discussion, everything ready. So you will now tailor your introduction in a way that will fit in to the results and so on. One of the things reviewers have complained about when they review work is that you read the introduction of the person is talking, about some things. Now you go to the methodology, the results, and you see that some of the things the person mentioned in the introduction is at variance with the work the person actually did. Or sometimes the introduction is so general, not specific, and then you look at the result of this person, they are not in agreement. So that's why I propose that you come here to write introduction at this stage. So you'll be even the objectives you will write as part of the introduction here will be based on those results you have got. So it's like walking from answer to the question, kind of. But I mean, it's a very simple way of going around it. Because I must tell you, writing journal paper, good journal paper, is not an easy task. I mean, it's something that is very tasking. So, but using this approach may make the work simpler for you. Then, when all these things are written, the number 17 there is write the abstract. So the abstract is, I always tell people, abstract is simply made up of four things. One, what was done. Two, how it was done. Three, summary of the findings. Four, that's the results. Four, implications of the results. That's all. So your abstract tell us what you did, how you did it, what are the main results you got, and what are the implications of those results. That's your abstract. Now for journals, everything should be just one paragraph. You don't break them into paragraphs. Of course, in thesis, yes, you can have abstracts flowing to second page and so on, and being in different paragraphs. Fine for thesis and dissertation. But for journal paper, your abstract should just be one whole paragraph. That's what it should be. I will still tell us about approximate number of words and so on and so forth that each of these things should be. Now, the next thing is to assess to see if the title needs modification. You had a title that you had in mind before you went on to collect your data for the result, as part of the research. So go back to that title now and see, based on what you have written now, Is that title still okay? Or the title needs some modification? For example, maybe you have proposed that, oh, okay, I will do so study in southwestern Nigeria. But then you realize that in the course of the work, what you did was actually from one single location. Of course, that will not be representative of the whole of Southwest Nigeria. So you may want to modify that title now and change it to read your specific location instead of just saying in Southwest Nigeria. So that's the kind of modification you have to bring in based on your findings and the way your paper has turned out to be. The ninth thing there is you have to select keywords. So from the title, what are the keywords there? And this is very important for indexing because that's what search engines use in indexing your paper to make it easy for researchers looking for similar things to find your paper quickly. Then you write the acknowledgements. So write your acknowledgements. So who has contributed to the work. Now, this is not the place to be saying, oh, okay, I wish to acknowledge my wife. No. It is a scientific paper, so it is those who have contributed directly to the work that will be acknowledged. Take, for example, if a particular person has helped you in reviewing the work, or if some people have helped you with regards to the field data collection, or or provided some facilities for you, either laboratory access to their laboratory for you to conduct your analysis and so on. I mean, those are the kind of things you acknowledge here. Very specific contribution. Or if somebody, if the research was funded by a donor agency or you got a research grant. I mean, under acknowledgement is where you have to acknowledge such donors for funding the research. And finally, there you write the references. So you write your references. So these are the things you need to, this is what I consider best practice, for preparing a journal paper. So let's see now how those various sections should be. For a journal, this is the arrangement you will have. Of course, you'll have the title, and I said approximately 150 characters, or I would say maybe 18 words maximum. If it's more than 18 words, see how you can manage to compress it to 18 words. Very, very important. And then, or 150 characters. Then your abstract. For journal papers, your abstract must not be more than one paragraph, like I said earlier, and it should normally be about between 100 and 200 words. Then your introduction should be not more than 1.5 to 2 pages. And all these things I'm talking in terms of pages I'm talking about here, I'm talking of double spacing. If you use double spacing, double line spacing, between 1.5 to 2 pages, that should be maximum you have for introduction. Then the methods would be between 2 and 3 pages because, for some work, you need to discuss the study area. In some cases, you may even need to show the map of the study area and things like that. So 2 to 3 pages should be okay with that. And then you talk of your results. So this is where you bring your graphs, your tables, and your write-up of the results and so on. So depending on the nature of what you are doing, you may have up to 6 or 8 pages, in this. But then you have to follow the format of the journal you want to publish in, because some will insist that each table or each graph should be on a separate page on its own. So you have to conform with that. Then you go to number 6, which is discussion. And for discussion, 4 to 6 pages are considered okay. And then your conclusion should not be more than 1 page. Oftentimes, it may even just be half a page or 3/4 of a page. The maximum shouldn't exceed a page. And then for references, your references, you cite, you have to list up to 20 or 50 references occupying 2 to 4 pages usually. Why is this so? Because you want to show that, yes, in the paper, for the paper you have written, you have really read wide. You have considered so many other work that has been done previously before yours. And so just listing 1, 2 references will not reflect that you have done sufficient literature search before doing the work. So something in the neighborhood of 20 to 50, that's great. But they must be relevant references, and you must have cited every single one of them in the text. If you don't cite them in the text, then don't list them at all. Anything you list in references must have been cited in your paper. So that's very important. So I said here, the standard length for manuscript is usually 25 pages to 25 to 40 pages. And I'm talking of, many international journals that are of repute, and usually double spaced. So that's the length of manuscripts for journal publication. So just follow this as guide. Like I said, these are not cast in stone or iron. There could be little modifications here and there. That's allowed. So, but this just to give you general guide. In the next video, we will discuss the various components of a journal paper. We want to look at each of those components we have listed, like title, introduction, abstract, and all those things. Discuss, results and discussion and conclusion. We want to look at each component and see what are the details we need to consider under each of them. See you in the next video.